Hello, friends. Welcome to a new program of That's English.
Today's documentary is about William Shakespeare.
Remember, don't worry if you can't understand everything.
What really matters is that you get used to listening to English.
Vamos a daros alguna pista. Personaje en inglés se dice character.
Y el personaje, the character, que nos cuenta lo que vamos a ver en el documental es Jaques y aparece en la obra de Shakespeare titulada Como gustéis.
The title in English is As You Like It.
Vamos a explicaros primero el significado de algunas palabras que aparecen en el documental.
Workshop significa taller.
Glove means guante.
Grave is tumba.
And costumes are trajes.
Y las preguntas que tendréis que contestar después de ver el documental son:
When was Shakespeare born? In 1564? In 1546? In 1554?
How old was Shakespeare when he died?
Which other famous writer died on the same day as Shakespeare?
Those are the questions. Now let's watch Out
And About.
Stratford-upon-Avon, a beautiful town in the centre of England. It's very famous because William Shakespeare was born here. To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles and by opposing end them. Hello, friends. No, I'm not Hamlet, Prince of Denmark. I've just borrowed his lines. Please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Jaques. Like Hamlet, I'm one of the characters created by the imagination of William Shakespeare. But I'm not here to talk about myself. I've come to talk about my creator, Shakespeare, who was born in this house. Shakespeare was born in this house in 1564. It's a typical house of the 16th century. For over 200 years, theatre lovers from all over the world have visited this house. When Shakespeare was a boy, his father used part of the house as a workshop where he made gloves. Nowadays, there's a museum of Shakespeare's life and work in the house. Shakespeare attended this school when he was a boy. This school had an excellent classical education in those days. Perhaps it was here where Shakespeare started reading the old Greek authors and where his interest in the theatre was born. Young William enjoyed reading, but he was adventurous. In 1586, he left Stratford for London, and in London he joined a theatre company where he did all kinds of jobs. In 1610, rich and famous for his work, Shakespeare returned to Stratford. The house where he lived his last days and where he wrote his last plays was here, in these gardens. 6 years later, in 1616, when he was 52, Shakespeare died from an indigestion. It was the 23rd of April of 1616. That same day, another genius of literature, Miguel de Cervantes, died in Spain. Shakespeare's grave is in Holy Trinity Church, where you can see the words he wrote for the epitaph. But Shakespeare is still very much alive in the theatre. Stratford is also the home of one of the most important classical theatre companies in the world, the Royal Shakespeare Company. At another theatre in the town, the World of Shakespeare, there's an exhibition of costumes and characters from Shakespeare's time and from his most famous plays. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts. As You Like It, Act 2, Scene 7. My lines. The stage. This is our home. Here, with every performance, the characters of Shakespeare are born again. And so it will be, for as long as theatre is alive. Farewell, dear friends.
That was a very interesting documentary.
Yes, it was. But let's have a look at the questions. Do you remember the first question? When was Shakespeare born? In 1564? In 1546? In 1554?
Shakespeare was born in this house in 1564.
The answer is in 1564. The next question. How old was Shakespeare when he died? Listen.
In 1616, when he was 52, Shakespeare died.
He was 52.
Another question. Which other famous writer died on the same day as Shakespeare did? And the answer is...
That same day, another genius of literature, Miguel de Cervantes, died in Spain.
Miguel de Cervantes died on the same day as Shakespeare did.
¿Las habéis acertado? Seguro que sí. Ahora vamos con el sketch.
Fijaos cómo utiliza Sara el tiempo pasado para hablar de sus experiencias.
Personal experiences. You know something, Gary? I remember I met my first boyfriend in this park. He was sitting on this bench reading a comic. I said, "Hello." And he said, "Hello." And then I talked and talked about myself. My name is Sarah. I'm 10 years old. I love chewing gum. And I hate vegetables. Ugh. But he didn't pay any attention to me. because while I was talking, he was reading a comic.
Really?
To get his attention, I said, "Would you like to kiss me?"
Did you say yes?
No, he was reading a very interesting comic. Then I said, "Do you like hamburgers?" This time, he put down his comic and he said yes. Finally, I asked him, "Would you like to have a hamburger with me?"
Yeah.
No.
Did you say no when he said yes?
No, we both said yes. And then we went and had a hamburger together.
That's love.
The next 3 days we met at this bench.
How romantic.
We were in love. But one day he didn't come. I didn't see him again.
Did you run out of money to buy hamburgers?
No. He finished reading his comic.
Oh, really? Uf, menudo carácter, chica.
¿A qué te refieres? ¿A mi character o a mi carácter?
A tu carácter.
Pues deja de meterte con mi carácter y vamos a ver cómo se las apañan nuestros amigos para hacer parte de mi papel en el sketch.
Aunque parezca imposible, el personaje de Sara quedará mudo, pero pondremos unos rótulos para ayudaros a recordar lo que dice. Así vosotros lo podéis repetir en casa.
Tendréis que hacer los cambios necesarios. Por ejemplo, poner el verbo en el tiempo adecuado, es decir, en el presente, en el pasado simple o en el pasado continuo. Suerte. You know something, Gary? I remember I met my first boyfriend in this park.
Did you say yes?
No, he was reading a very interesting comic. Then I said, "Do you like hamburgers?"
How romantic.
We were in love. But one day he didn't come.
Before saying goodbye, let's have a look at some things we've learned in this unit.
En esta unidad hemos aprendido a narrar acontecimientos del pasado. Personal experiences.
Important events, such as falling in love and proposing, getting married, honeymoon, and divorce. So